From weird, unidentifiable noises deep below the sea to the strange discovery of a submarine that was missing for more than 50 years, here are the craziest unsolved underwater mysteries.
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm your host, American Eye. Be sure to do us a favor and hit that like button, and also smash that subscribe button to help us get to 1 million subscribers. But first, we'd like to give a quick shout out over here to this person for leaving us this comment. We appreciate your insight and would like to hear more thoughts about this video.
Number 13. The Zemchug Canyon. Earth is primarily covered in water, so it shouldn't turn out to be a huge surprise that the world's largest canyon is underwater. The Zemchug Canyon is actually deeper than the Grand Canyon by at least 250 feet. The highest vertical drop here is roughly 8,530 feet and is located near the Bering Sea. Although it's hidden by the Pacific Ocean, it can still be rather visible from outer space. Since it takes up a large portion of the ocean, it makes it possible for a large, diverse ecosystem to thrive. There is still a very good possibility that some unidentified creatures still live here, since very little exploration has been done in this underwater location. Geologists are also still unsure exactly how it was able to form too. Number 12. Upsweep and the Whistle. Every now and then, the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration will survey various noises that they come across underwater. Not all the time will they know what caused a noise to happen though. Such is the case for the audio recordings known as the upsweep and the whistle. The first noise, known as the upkeep, was recorded in 1991 and almost sounds like some kind of siren when sped up to 20 times the original speed. The noise was recorded in the South Pacific between Chile and New Zealand. Take a listen to it for yourself and let us know what you think. Some sources would claim that you can still hear the noise and is generally the loudest between spring and autumn. The next unidentified noise is what's known as the whistle. It's found in the Mariana Volcanic Arc of the Pacific Ocean and it sounds similar to a whoosh of air. Scientists still can't figure out what's creating it. Could they be caused by mermaids? Number 11. Pavlo-Petri. One of the oldest submerged cities in the world that we know about is located in the Mediterranean Sea off the coast of southern Greece. It's estimated that the city is at least 5,000 years old, but it wasn't until the late 1960s that people actually knew of its existence. The origins date back to the Mycenaean period at first, but further investigation will reveal that it was at least 4,800 years ago. It was likely submerged due to an earthquake that happened around 1000 BC. This would put it back to the early Bronze Age and Stone Age, making it critical to understand and preserve. So far, about 15 buildings have been discovered, but it's very possible that it was much bigger than that. It could be under threat to boats dragging their anchors and from scuba divers collecting artifacts. Number 10. The Baltic Sea anomaly. Located right in the middle of the Baltic Sea, this photo shows what people are calling the Baltic Sea anomaly. The more people seem to investigate it, the more they begin to think it's not from this world. What if proof of extraterrestrial life was underwater the entire time and we didn't even need to raid Area 51 to find it? Many people claim that this is indeed evidence of a crashed UFO, and trying to closely investigate the site has proven to be difficult. Some photos, though, would suggest that there is disturbed soil and a considerable amount of debris near the anomaly. Number 9. Fukushima ocean radiation. Possibly the worst nuclear disaster since Chernobyl, the Fukushima incident was a lot different and it managed to release a large amount of radiation into the Pacific Ocean. Will the vastness of our ocean dilute the radiation and make it safe? Is our seafood still affected by this disaster? Many people are still asking this question, and Japanese truth seekers are still tracking the contamination. Sometimes it's hard to trust the government when a catastrophic situation happens. It's known that the contamination of the soil was quite severe, which resulted in moving it somewhere else, but what can anyone do about all the ocean water that's contaminated? Scientists have determined that the ocean is safe, but how sure can we be? We all know that there have been cover-ups in such nuclear accidents like 3 Mile Island and Chernobyl, and the amount of pollution in this case was much higher. Number 8. The land of Mu. Many people still theorize that the Pacific Ocean was actually home to a much larger continent that we don't see anymore. Maybe the reason why there are so many islands in the Pacific is that they were all connected at one point in time and existed on a common landmass until a disaster struck? Some feel as though ancient wonders such as the Easter Island statues must have been created by an advanced superculture who lived somewhere else on this lost continent. Others speculate that this would have been home to Atlantis and the disaster would have taken place around the same time as humans beginning to advance in technology. Many underwater structures such as the Yonaguni Monument, which are still seemingly man-made, are claimed to be remnants of the Mu continent. What do you believe about this theory? Number 7. The Lusitania. The answers to many questions about the first major conflict of the world can be found at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, and since it's so deep underwater, there are certainly challenges with examining the remains. Although the British ship is only 300 feet or so below the sea, the cold Irish Sea is no easy hurdle for scuba divers. It's not debatable as to how it sunk, but it's debatable still if the Lusitania was carrying weapons or not, secretly bringing in arms to the British. A German U-boat hit it with a torpedo and then quickly sank to the bottom of the ocean. The Americans were apparently tricked into believing that this was a civilian ship and redeclared war with the Germans due to supposed war crimes. In 1982, the British came forward about what was on board, and it was much more than just rich Victorian upper class. They needed to state that there was a large amount of explosives and ammunition still stored inside, which was highly dangerous. This has sparked many conspiracy theories that the ship was deliberately put into danger in order to get America into an intense, horrific war. Why do you think they would do that? Money, of course. As we've mentioned before, the New World Order likes to supply weapons on both sides in order to gain profits, and the arms on board were made by the DuPont family. Number 6. The Yeti Crab. Discovering the Yeti has always been a quest for many cryptid hunters out there, but it might be just as difficult to find the Yeti Crab. If the abominable snowman took the form of a crab, this is exactly how it would look. What's even more strange about this is that its legs are covered in its own food source, which is bacteria. The first Yeti crab was discovered off the Antarctica coast near underwater volcanoes. This crustacean is not something you're going to find on the menu at Red Lobster. Since crabs are excellent in adapting to their environment, the hair that grows on their chest actually attracts the microorganisms that they feast on. Number 5. The Minerve Disappearance. The French submarine known as the Minerve had mysteriously vanished in 1968 with 52 crew members on board. Many families weren't satisfied with the answer of why it was gone, and some might even believe that it was either an experiment gone wrong or some type of attack from the Soviets. More mainstream explanations tend to claim that it was likely a faulty design. It should be noted that a similar submarine known as the Eurydice was also an experimental design that went completely missing somewhere in the Mediterranean. Even Jacques Cousteau was sent to search for the vessel, but it astonished many when it was finally located in July of 2019. It was found 45 miles off the coast of the French Riviera city known as Toulon. It was located about a mile underwater, and pieces were scattered 1,000 feet across the seabed. It's still unclear exactly why it went missing, but due to the wreckage, we're going to assume something exploded. Number 4. New Jersey's Deep Train Graveyard. Off the coast of the Jersey Shore, 2 mysterious trains rest in peace deep underwater. What's it doing out there and how it got there, archaeologists are still unsure of. This is one of the oldest models of trains that we know about from the 1850s. Some believe that this train was simply pushed off of a boat to prevent it from crashing due to a large storm. Now completely covered in rust, this machine was a state-of-the-art technology for its time, but amazingly well preserved. Even the smokestacks that make this piece so unique are still visible after a century and a half have passed by. The New Jersey Transportation Museum is planning on bringing this back to the surface in order to conduct some research. Number 3. A Brinicle. Imagine seawater getting so cold to the point where the water freezes but the salt gets expelled. Concentrated salt water escapes the frozen water above the ocean's surface and basically forms a brinicle. It's kind of like a salt icicle. It seeps into the depths of the water below and can actually be deadly to fish or sea animals down below. This remarkable photo captures this complex phenomena. It's known to happen in the Arctic Ocean and near Antarctica. The way a brinicle was formed was very much a mystery until it was finally filmed in 2011 using a special camera that can withstand the frigid temperatures. Number 2. Giant Squids. Considering that the ocean is a vast, mysterious place that's difficult to explore, they could still be out there. One was discovered on a beach in Spain, and there has been live footage of one conducted by researchers in Japan in 2004. They are believed to be about 440 feet long. Giant squid and their cousins, the colossal squid, have the largest known eyeball in the entire animal kingdom, measuring in about 10 inches in diameter. That's the size of a dinner plate, staring at you directly in the eye. They have a total of 8 tentacles and 2 feeding arms, which allows them to put food into their giant beaks. And number 1, the Young Teaser. This was an American schooner that sank due to an explosion in 1813 near Nova Scotia, Canada during the War of 1812 near Mahone Bay. Inhabitants of Nova Scotia were reporting sightings of ghost ships in the same place as it exploded, and often on the day it exploded, June 27th. This was reportedly witnessed by a lot of people. When it vanishes, it apparently disappears behind a cloud of flames. Some claim that this can be an optical illusion due to a full moon, but there are still sightings by boats in that area, and they're known as teaser lights. It's a well-known urban legend in Nova Scotia.